Welcome everybody to another episode of the Execute podcast. And finally, we get Miss Sonia Lewis. So I have to do an appropriate intro for you. So,
okay.
Sonia Lewis, as seen in Forbes magazine, BET, Money magazine, author and CEO of the Student Loan Doctor LLC.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for making time. I appreciate it.
Thank you for finally having me.
Yes.
I've been waiting for you. All my notes.
Yes. Shout out to my producer, Mike Morgan,
yes.
right? Who has been
consistent.
Consistently.
I'm
He's
like, I thought you forgot about me.
Nah. Mike has been always on it. He's like, are we recording at season 2? Are we recording season 2? I'm like, yes. He's like, we're going to get Student Loan Doctor. We're going to make it happen.
Yes.
Sonia, thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. As you elevate, I understand your time value. So I appreciate you making time for us today. So we're going to get right into it, Sonia.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So to my audience who are not familiar with you, which I think that's crazy if they're not, everyone knows who the Student Loan Doctor. Tell us about yourself, where you're from, your family, your journey.
Oh, there's so much to share. So thank you so much for having me. And
Absolutely.
thanks for being patient with all the trying to get scheduled 10 times over. So Sonia Lewis from Philly. So I'm excited to be home to do this podcast with you. And, I think what's important to share is that I was just saying this before we started shooting. I've always known you. I feel like we but never really known each other. So thank you for the 5-minute deep dive. But yes, so from Philly, born and raised in Mount Airy, West Oak Lane, went to high school here, college, Bloomsburg, right outside of Philly. I moved though, I have been to sunnier places, with 85-degree weather.
Year round.
Soon. Yeah. I moved to Miami. So really it was just for fun.
Really?
I went there for my birthday. I said I'll take 2 weeks. So let's back up. In the pandemic, I started thinking to myself, if I got to be stuck anywhere in the world, where would I want to be stuck? Philly wasn't on my list. Yeah, I was here. But mentally, I wasn't here. So I found out that Florida was still open, surprisingly.
Yep.
And I just kept going in the pandemic. Literally, once a month I would go. So when my birthday came a little after, we're kind of 2021 at this point, I was like, I'm going to stay there for a few weeks and just see. Well, when I decided to stay longer, I realized my Airbnb apartment was $6,000 a month. So I was like, no, I could just live here for these type of numbers, you know?
Right.
And I didn't want to go home. I realized that I was going into a new season, and the season looked like Florida. It looked like sunny. It looked like money,
Got you.
I tell people all the time, you cannot be in anybody's Miami and not be excited to get some new money. I've never. Lamborghinis, Rolls Royces, G-Wagons are the Hondas out there.
Oh, wow.
It's
regular.
So common.
It's every day.
I'll just watch my G-Wagon. And I was like, I want to be where luxury is common. That's the season I was in when I moved there. Now, not so much now. Now I'm going back into my, I want more investments bag and things of that nature. But it was very pivotal for me to make that move when I made it, because as I was changing, I needed to feel the change, see the change, and be comfortable enough to do it. So wasn't comfortable doing any of those type of changes here in the city.
I got you. I see that. So you decided to move to, when did you move? 2021, what month?
It was September. Well, more so, no, I think it was 2021 I officially moved of September.
Not coming back?
Well, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't necessarily want to come back here. And I might would grab a spot out on the outskirts or something. But I'm looking at maybe Atlanta as an opportunity. I so should have went when everybody went that I know.
Got you.
Or I could stay in Florida. But you know what I realized about my life? No matter where I actually call home, I'm never going to really be home.
Literally was my next question. At this point in your journey, there's a place where you rest your head, but the world is your oyster at this point.
Well, it'd be weird for me to be home. If I'm home, I'm not making money.
That's how you feel?
Oh, I'm for sure of it. Because remember, you're a brand, right? Who's going to get to know you in the house?
Got you.
And even though I think a lot of people like me and I know a lot of people, I realize I don't know a lot of people. Now that could be by choice, or that could be, but when you start to think about the grand scheme of things, getting connected with people to do events, and you want people to say your name in spaces you're not in, how they going to say your name? They don't know you.
They don't know you.
So I realized I got to get out the house. So that's really been my thing for 2023. I call it my Jordan year.
Gotcha.
I'm like, I need people to know I gotta say yes to more opportunities because I make a lot of money in the house.
Right.
I like home, but if it's just money, then I don't have to do anything different than what I'm doing.
Gotcha.
But if it's, I heard a really good sermon not too long ago that talked about your influence. Well, I can't have influence if I'm not known. You can't be a household name from home.
From home.
In theory.
So when we was on timeout from 2019, all of 2020, a little bit of 2021, God put us on timeout.
I loved it.
You loved it. That's what I was going to ask.
I want to do it again.
You want to do it?
Minus people dying and being sick.
Exactly.
Right?
Did that shift your brand?
Oh, I made $1 million in the pandemic. Yeah, I made $1 million then some. Because one thing about me is I'm a creator. When I get focused, and it's kind of like we all were on Do Not Disturb. Even though we were home, think about it. We didn't really talk to a lot of people still. I feel like I know my phone usage didn't go up. I think people were still just so focused on themselves and worried. And so I turned that around and I was like, I'm going to make some money. You also got to remember my brand was affected. So my business is called The Student Loan Doctor, right? There was no student loans. There still aren't any student loans in repayment today.
Technically speaking,
So I shouldn't have made anybody's million and there's no student loans. So what I did was I started making some digital products. I got into Turo, Airbnb. I took the money from the digital products, flipped it, bought cash properties, made them Airbnbs. Like I was rolling because listen, the pandemic was too close to going back to being broke. I'm gonna let you know I'm not going back.
Really?
So for me, it just kind of like put something in high gear. And because I have a team that relies on me for payroll, whether it's part-time work or full-time, I've had like my part-timers forever. And I have now full-time folks too. I can't say, guys, we're going to have to wrap this up.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. So I had to figure out as CEO, like, what does this look like?
Right.
You know, and then put that plan in place.
Did you see the pivot that happened during the pandemic? Same thing happened to me where Haitian CEO, the brand was, it was in person. I would teach classes live.
Yeah,
Not like conferences, but 100, 200 people show up.
Yeah,
let's talk about business funding. Let's talk about credit. And then it stopped, right? I remember I was doing something called the Blueprint Summit, rented out Temple University's Minton Hall, literally where I graduated in that hall. So it was a big deal to do it there. And Temple sent back the money. Then it's like, yeah, we're shutting down. And I was actually devastated about it.
Yeah.
But then I had to pivot online.
Went virtual.
And everybody showed up.
Let me say something.
Everybody showed up.
Those that got with the shift did well. So I had decided, because I already had my home office set up, right? I had stuff crazy. I never really used it until the pandemic. I was business on top, party on the bottom. Like literally, our secret is I was in like panties or something. Or like, sorry guys, like little shorts.
Good. Yeah.
But I was real super business up here, and I would teach. Like you could catch me in the pandemic every night at 9 p.m.
Doing a live.
Consistent.
I remember. Yeah.
It would be one day I actually took a night off because I was like, I thought nobody would miss me. And we might have had like 50 to 100 that would keep showing up consistently. And then something changed. We'd start going up to a couple hundred. But consistency. So one night I took off thinking nothing of it. Oh my God. I woke up to like 20 DMs. Are you sick? What's wrong? I had my alarm set for 9 o'clock.
Wow.
You didn't say anything. Like, you know how people usually say, I didn't say anything because I thought, oh, like, you know, they'll catch me. And I was really kind of a little burnt out, low key. And I was like, no, I'm okay. People thought I got COVID. Like, you know, one day missing. What's the whole day? It's so funny in hindsight. And that taught me you cannot break people's like trust in being consistent. So now I'm back to it. So now I'm treating my business almost like a TV show. So I consistently, mostly I would say every day. And I start to tell them now. I teach around between 12 and 2 every day. And if I had to teach them early, because sometimes my schedule, if I had to teach you at 10 a.m., I'm like, guys, we're going to be a little earlier tomorrow. Herman, you know they just always like show up.
Every day?
Every day we get like 300 to 400 people every day on Zoom. So I start doing Zoom and lives at the same time. So every day, 300 to 400, same people, new people. I don't know what these people do for a living. That's my joke to them.
Right.
I'm like, do y'all work? Type yes if y'all work.
They at work.
So we
Listening
do
to you.
And then we do an evening show at like 8 or 9.
Oh, you're serious about this?
Oh, it's like real serious. And I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm really reporting the information new. You know what I realized about that? Because I was kind of embarrassed with it. I was like, oh my God, they're not going to keep coming. I'm not always giving the newest information because it's nothing new.
Right. Are you enjoying the free game that you are getting on the Execute podcast? Well, listen, inside the Bella Sloan Academy, we have even more game for you. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click the link in the description to get access to information on how to fix your credit on your own, how to set up your business on your own, how to fund your business on your own. And we have so many other courses to put you in position for the win. You wanna start an Airbnb? We got you. You wanna know how to market your business? We got you. You need to learn how to do funnels? We got you. In the Bella Sloan Academy, let's put you in position for the win. Let's get back to the episode.
My information changes maybe every like 2 or 3 days. But what about the other day that they just heard the same thing?
Same thing, yeah.
They're like, I get it now. So people are coming back to hear it again because now it's making them
Does it make sense?
Something.
Yeah. They're doing action steps. So we know Sonia Lewis, born in Philly, college in Bloomberg, Mount Airy girl. So you're uptown girl. I'm from Mount Airy too.
Yes.
When was the student loan doctor born?
Okay, so let's go back. It was by accident. Let's see. 2016. 16. So I was at an event with the Urban League. Do you know Kamari Ellis?
No, I'm not familiar.
No? Okay. Might know Kenji. I'm not sure. You know, if you see these people, you would know them. So they were like I call it like original thought leaders on topics around money in the city.
Got you.
A little older, but like they look young, but they're a little older. They would like be the speakers for like everything. I remember during this time. And anyway, hey Kamari, he was talking about something, and I remember I went rogue in a meeting, and I was like, well, what about student loans? I'm like, I'm teed up. Now, in hindsight, it's not the right thing to do, guys.
Right.
And it is my professional discipline. Like I was studying how student loan debt affects African American women. I was in my doctoral program, so I'm all like riled up. So long story short, he didn't have an answer. And I was like, since you don't have an answer, and I like stood up and addressed the room. That is so rogue. And I took over.
And that was it.
Yes, after everybody said, well, I want to talk with you about my loans. And so then Kenji, one of my business partners and mentors, he was like, we got to meet. He said, we got to go to lunch and we got to plan this out. Kenji is such a visionary. I'm so grateful for him. Like one of my best friends, like to this day. I said, listen, Kenji, I didn't have money at the time. I said, I could take you out to Applebee's, 2 for $20, and true story. I came there with $40. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And I want to be clear, it's not that I didn't have money. I had bad money management skills.
Okay.
I had a job making like maybe $60 a year. That's not bad for living in Philly.
Philly alone, yeah. Single
By
person.
myself, right? But I didn't have money. So I told him before the lunch start, I was like, so we're going to live on a 2 for $20 menu. I was like, we're going to get lemonades. Because remember, I still want to be a good tipper.
Right.
That's $40.
Right.
He was like, okay, I could do it. So, it's so funny.
That's good.
Now we make
a
lot of money together. So I was like, aren't you lucky you sat down with me for 2 for $20?
Wow, all this time?
Yeah. He made over half a million with me. Yeah.
That's what's up.
He was like, I'll eat 2 for $20 with you any day, you know? And I just want to say something about that. Like, I think especially coming from like Philly, it's important that you, and even you probably know this for yourself, you try to bring some day ones with you. Everybody's not going to come now.
Nope.
But it was important to me to be loyal to people that was loyal to me. And he didn't want anything from me. I probably didn't even have to feed him. He probably would have treated it if you want to be honest.
Right.
But I wanted to treat him. And I never forget, he sat down and mapped out, he was like speaking engagements, books. Like, I wish I could find that paper to this day. He put on paper, and we didn't know what it was called yet. He just put like the concept on paper. And I'm like, so I took the little paper with me, and I was like running through some ideas. And I named it the student loan doctor. Oh, I'll tell you how I named it. That's why I want to give her credit. There was a woman in D.C. I was very fond of through social media called the business doctor or something. I believe her name's Tamira. And I used to go to some of her events. I messaged her. People don't give these type of credit these days. I sent her a nice message. I said, hey, Tamira, I take some of your classes. I love how you call yourself the business doctor. Would you mind, and this is a real one, would you mind if I called myself the student loan doctor? It's nothing related to what you're doing, but I wanted you to know I was inspired by your name. She said, thank you so much for asking. She said, you didn't even have to ask. She was like, that means a lot to me. She was like, I think you'll be absolutely great with it. Then I came to one of her seminars. I just didn't know a lot of women like her that was doing, because she was like one of the pioneers.
Right.
So that's how the name came about. I liked her name, and I was like, well, I will focus just on. So when I tell people that got names similar to mine, I'm like, well, I ain't getting no slide at these. That's my TM. Nobody taught you better. So anyway, so that's how it was born. But then we got to give credit to Nehemiah. So we're going through my mentors at this point. Nehemiah Davis out of Philly. I never forget, I called him. I took one of his classes.
Yeah.
Boardroom Bosses. It was $150.
Shout out to Neo.
I did not have $150.
You didn't have it.
Like, let's say I had $160 to get to till Friday.
Right.
You know how like
yeah.
Oh my God.
To the next paycheck. Yeah.
So long story short, I gave Neo $150. Might have kept $10 to $20 to myself. Had gas in my car, and I had enough food in the house to get to Thursday. Okay. Now
wow, this is serious.
This is like real serious. So I remember calling my grandma on Sunday. Like, grandma, I'm gonna come to dinner on Thursday. Strategic planning.
Right. So I can eat.
She's like, why are you coming on Thursday? I was like, I just want to come visit. You know she gonna cook.
Right.
I'm gonna come after work. Like, this is a real story.
I'm gonna be hungry.
Yeah,
right?
She was like, okay, I'll have something ready.
Wow.
So anyway, long story short, I paid for his class. I had no business when I showed up. Like, everybody in the room had a business.
Didn't have an LLC.
I didn't have one. No, I didn't know this.
No EIN.
I just knew I needed a new set of friends. I needed new money. I just knew what I needed, but I didn't know.
And you just showed up. Are y'all picking up the message?
Just showed up.
You just showed up.
His little name tag for me said Dr. Lewis, because he didn't know what to call me, or he didn't have a business name for me. So anyway, after the session, I hung up with him. Picked up the phone. I left the session. We hang up. Let's back up. We leave the session. I call him. And then we hang up quickly because he didn't like my idea. I never forget. He didn't like it at first. And I was
he didn't like the student loan talking idea?
No. I was like, well, forget you. I was like, I'm not tired of this.
Right.
I love him now.
Yeah.
He called me back in 10 minutes. And was like, I love it. He was like, yo, I got a student loan that I ain't pay off. He was like, and I should pay it, but I don't know what to do. I was like, nobody knows what to do.
Nobody.
So he was like, all right. He was like, go for it. And I don't know. I just kind of like ran like so quick with it. We had the office in Jenkintown.
Right.
But before that, I had free locations at Cozy and Quarter Bakery.
You know what I'm saying?
You ever had one there?
Yes. Cozy's is where I started on Old York Road.
Really good.
Yeah.
You would say Old York Road?
Old York Road too, yeah. It's closed now.
Such a shame.
I know.
Maybe because we didn't buy enough.
Yeah, we didn't buy enough.
I bought one muffin.
Right. I use their space, their Wi-Fi. Can I get 2 waters? Can I get 2 waters, please?
Yes, and look at them indignant.
Yeah. You know I'm here every Thursday.
You need to buy a lunch.
No. These are my office hours. You see me here every, you know what I'm saying?
And one time the lady was about to come over, I said, like, don't you just want this?
Don't embarrass me.
So that's how it got birthed. It grew very quickly, like maybe a little too quickly. There was a period where I remember thinking, I need help, and I need help now. And for the first few years of business, I thought it was just kind of anomaly a little bit, kind of like, well, it really was just really being that I was blessed, but I just thought it could end, like at any moment. Yeah, I was so ready to go back to work because I was just, this could be over soon. Right. And then something happened when the Shade Room posted us. The Shade Room posted us in 2018. 18 or 19? Let me see, hold on. Might have been 18.
I think it's 18, yeah.
It was 18.
A couple years before the pandemic.
Because 19, I felt like the wave of it just kept like happening. So when it happened in 18, it was just me as a coach. I had to do like I want to call it overnight, but like a hiring boot camp for like 3 or 4 people. They're still with me, praise God. And then I had to hire my friends and family to help me clear my email and my DMs. And I just remember like those times were like really fun. Well, anyway, the girl, her name's Maisha, she said that Jesus told her to post me. Really? That's what she said. So people always ask me how much does it cost for the Shade Room. I'm like, I'll never know. She posted me twice in 1 year. In 1 year. I said, what did Jesus say? Tell me. And she was like, yeah, he said to post you, that your business should be known. I'm like, what? Wow. But that really overnight changed my business. Your life. So when people ask me, should they pay for the Shade Room? I said, well, I know what they did for free. Oh, and mind you, they didn't tag me to the post. No? No, it was called Positive Business Alert. where they just put my picture.
So people went and found you.
Yeah.
Imagine if they had tagged
No, of course
you.
I had people going under and comment. To tag me.
Right.
Once we knew the game.
Yeah.
But when it first happened, my best friend called me. She was like, we gonna be famous. I didn't know what the shade room was at the time. I didn't even follow the page. Sorry, y'all. So I follow it now. So when I saw it, I remember they had like 12 million followers at the time. They have way more now.
Way more.
And I was like, oh, this is it. So then I was on like every radio show, every news outlet. And so to be honest with you, I've never paid for any marketing or promotion. I mean, it's not like a flex or anything. It is a little bit. But people be like, how much was it for Forbes? I didn't pay for Forbes. Or how much was it for Money Magazine's a good one? Now, that's to a white audience. So when Money Magazine called me,
it was serious.
Baby, I was nervous because you ever get interviewed by like a white brand?
No, I haven't.
Oh, child, it's kind of like a colonoscopy.
Really? It was uncomfortable?
Oh, my. Like, I was fidgeting on the phone with this lady. I mean, she went so deep into stuff. I can't even remember her questions.
Wow.
I just remember, like, twisting and turning.
In your own seat over the phone. This was even live in person.
And I'm like, this is not... I don't even know if I want this to happen. I don't remember what she asked, but it was something that was so like, is this a part of the brand? So then she was just like, so what we'll do is, we're going to put this online. I think it'll be a good story. If it's a good story, it'll make it to print. I'll remind you. I think they like Katie or Caitlin or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I never, and that's probably either one of my strengths or flaws. I'm never really excited about stuff. I was listening to Oprah talk about this. I think I need to work on this, but maybe it's to my advantage. So when it happened, I was like, money, thank you. I really don't know what would make me really excited. I don't even know if Oprah would make me excited. I think I would be calm with her. I had this thing, I can't explain it. So when I hung up, I was like, oh, money was great. Shade room, fabulous.
Fabulous.
So I never get excited about too much. And I don't know if that's just a mechanism to not get hurt or, because if it don't happen, but it happened.
Right.
So anyway, a few months later, I get an email. It was like, hey, check your local store. You're in the magazine. I'm like, what?
Legit in the magazine.
So excited. I can be excited, but not like, but this is going to sound really cocky, but I expect good things. I expect good favor. And
the God that I serve.
And so when I listen to Joel Osteen every morning. So when he says certain stuff, I'm like, I do expect that. It's my birthright. So that is a little cocky to say out loud. Everybody wouldn't get that. So when I went to the magazine, I said, I do expect to be page 2 in color. Like, I expect good things. So that was I guess that's a little flex. So my mom saw that. Oh my God. She just because remember, that's a white brand.
Right.
It's exciting to be in Essence. It's exciting for me that did BET. It's like all those things are exciting. And I'll never down our community. But it is something to be able to cross over when in your story. So this is a true story. The day the magazine came out, I am going to take my first class seat. This is when I just started riding first class, right? So I'm excited about it. And I'm sitting maybe row 4, the fourth seat. I can't explain it. I felt like I wish I had a videographer with me at the time. I so wish I had one. Everybody on the plane had Money Magazine.
What?
They all grabbed the copy or got it for free on the plane. It's like a movie. I'm not making this up. And I'm like, So some people had my article open. Some didn't. So I go past this one guy. I was like, I could joke with him. I'm like, I said, it just came out today. He said, yeah, I'm on top of it. Mind you, everybody has a book, it's for class.
Right.
And where he was like, I said, well, do me a favor. I said, turn to page 2. I said, here's a really, really good article. I was like,
no, you didn't.
I did. I was like, I heard it's a girl that's from the area, helping people with student loan debt. You should check it out. He was like, my daughter has student loan. I gotta look at this. So he goes, everybody, she's on page 2.
No.
Oh my God, I wish I had a camera. Yeah, no. I'm so serious. I'm telling the truth. And I was like, that almost made me cry. So I was like, and then everybody's being super nice to me the whole plane ride. To this day, I don't know where I was going. And they're just looking at me the whole time while reading the article. And I'm like, oh my God, this is actually getting very rare. And then when I was getting off the plane, they bring the pilot. The pilot
You're kidding me.
He's like, we heard that we had a celebrity on board. I was like, no, I'm not a celebrity. I was like, I'm just talking about Money Magazine. I was like, Actually, I had copies in my bag.
Copies.
I was like, I had so much for you.
Okay.
So it was really fun. So I think that's when I knew that the brand and things were changing.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have to give credit. It really goes back to like the shade room.
The shade room.
And then we just knew how to ride the wave and the momentum from there. So
let's talk about the business a little bit. So Student Loan Doctor.
I know we never said what we do.
Right. Let's talk about what the Student Loan Doctor does. What do you do now? Because I know a lot of the business has changed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we stand on helping people eradicate their student loan debt.
Eradicate.
That's our favorite word, eradicate. It's a big word, right?
That's a heavy.
It is.
Yeah, time out. We're going to get back to the show. But listen, we have to talk about Bella Sloan Academy, the dopest mentorship on the internet. Listen, in this mentorship, we're going to teach you game. We want to put you in position for the win. And we have created a dope community of like-minded people and entrepreneurs just like you. We have 5 live Zoom calls per month. Not just your regular videos that you can watch later. No, we want to touch you and we want to talk to you. In these 5 Zoom calls, you have your accountability call. You have your credit repair call. You have your business funding call. Listen, I don't know everything. So I get masterminds to come and teach you guys about credit, real estate, and other businesses that include trust, life insurance to put you in position for the win. This is only $50 per month. That's right. This investment is super, super low. Put yourself in position. Back to the show. Eradicate, really?
Yes. So like right now in this past season, we were responsible for over $6 million of student loan debt being gone so far. Maybe more, but we can only account
in this past season.
In this season.
So since you started, do you have a number?
I'm sure. No, I mean, it's funny. I didn't get into number and things like that until this past year.
Really?
I just know how many people we serve. We serve maybe over like 30,000 people. But the number of what we've done in terms of getting rid of debt, like if I showed you like real life people, they have 400,000 off their back. And it's probably actually, not to be funny, more than 6 million. I had some time the other day and I looked at all my screenshots. Like I got them on my phone. Sonia, because of you, 42,000, 50,000, 100,000, 400,000, 600,000, 300,000. It's probably more than 6 million.
She got receipts.
Like real ones.
Success has
receipts. And it's so funny. Somebody tagged me recently. Was like, no, she has real receipts. She posts them every day. Yeah. And so I post them raw. Like I don't want to make nothing cute. Yeah. No graphic. I wanted the time with the battery low sign.
Right. The battery low sign.
I want people to know like these are real people with real results. And it's not about me. I don't think that I'm doing anything super fabulous other than being consistent and making people feel weird about not doing their work. Like, so the thing is, if you're watching my show every day at 12 and then again at 9 and you didn't do the application that's free online, you're weird.
Yeah, what did you do to become successful in your situation? That's why I like to ask people when they continue to ask the same questions. I was like, what did you do with the information I gave you before?
Yeah, that's good.
Right. Like, so I'm going to hold you accountable because you're going to hold me accountable.
Right. You say it didn't work.
Right.
So long story short, I'm in a really good headspace because I really wake up. I got some DMs I haven't even gotten to yet about 50,000 forgiven, this thousand, my husband, my sister, because of you, and I just had to be in a good headspace to write back because remember, this is somebody's life, they're no longer in debt, so then we got to talk for 5 minutes in a DM, make sure I got 5 minutes, and I know it sounds like a lot out loud, but just imagine at least maybe 5 or 10 of those a day, get those, and then so now we're at a place with the brand where. Because of the sermon I heard, it just reminded me, I really just want the brand to be a household name. Doesn't have to be me. So I've been doing a good job of having others in my community of tribe of workers be the front facing person. I just want the brand to be known, not me.
That has been a difficult shift for me too. Yeah, because I stepped down as CEO this year too.
You did say that.
Yeah. So Damaris Long, shout out to Damaris, took over Bella Sloan Enterprises, named after my firstborn. Because everybody associates Herman and Haitian CEO with Bella Sloan. So scrubbing me off of the website and having Damaris.
So it's just Bella Sloan.
Bella Sloan Enterprises. Yeah, that's the name of the company.
Threw me off when I saw it.
Yeah.
So what's Haitian CEO?
So Haitian CEO is just a moniker I got when I first got on Instagram years ago. So I'm Haitian, and I was the CEO of my LLC that was doing little real estate flips.
But Haitian CEO is his own entity, though.
But I turned it into its own entity.
Isn't that on YouTube? What's on YouTube?
So YouTube is Bella Sloan Enterprises because it's all about the separation of the brand. So when I go out to speak, Herman Dulce Jr., aka the Haitian CEO, right?
Because I feel like your speaking name is Haitian CEO.
Haitian CEO, yeah.
So
yeah.
guys, I asked them before we started. I'm like, do you want me Herman or Haitian CEO today? Well, people
you did ask that, what am I
like,
referring to you as? Yeah.
Listen, somebody asked me before in the interview, do you want to be Sloan doctor or Sonia? You would I answer? Sloan doctor. You don't need to know me. Know the name that takes the check.
That takes
credit
the check.
cards, PayPal.
No. Gotcha.
So,
you're right.
I don't really need you to know my name. I'm actually okay with that. So when I go places, I was in this small town in Georgia, getting like some eggs, some milk. Like, I don't know. It's like I had a little Airbnb. Somebody came up to me and was like, yo, Sloan doctor, listen. I'm like, out here? Like,
wow.
in a little town?
Isn't that fascinating? Yeah.
Like,
the internet makes it a small world.
I want to run somebody. And I'm like we was friends forever. People do that to you?
All the time.
But like we already talked. That's
right. Well, yo, we was DMing the other day. Oh, were we? Right? I'm like, okay, what's up? Right.
Well, no, I don't even know if I DM these people. I never asked. Like, listen, other day you had said, I'm like, I say a lot of stuff today.
Say a lot of things.
So I am grateful for it. Oh, and something happens to me a lot in Philly. Never really seen it anywhere else, so it could be a Philly thing. Let's say we're in a post office together. Listen, do you know what box I should use to mail so-and-so? This, I promise you, it's happened like 6 times. And I'm like, box to mail? Oh, I look like I work at the post office? Now, my mouth a little smart. We're working on some things. So I was like, I said, no, I wouldn't know what box. I said, we can ask. Like, really, we could ask. Well, do you think I should mail Express? Because if it takes, like, literally, somebody was asking me all these questions, and I'm like, now I'm about to flip. Like, now it's about to change.
Like, ma'am.
But some told me not to. And I am a nice person. I just don't have space for a lot of, like, it's getting weird. Because I know I don't look like I work at the post office. Right. I was like, well, you know what? I said, in my experience, when I use Express, man, that's why I could tell you a real one. I knew I could ask you these questions. Because, look, I follow you, right? So it was a whole 10-minute USPS interview, whatever. And they went into saying that they knew me through them. Isn't that great? Now, what if I had turned up to be mean or short with the person?
You know what they say? You don't want to meet your heroes.
Yeah. You don't?
Yeah.
Oh.
It would have been.
I've got stories for that.
It would have been awkward.
I've met one of my heroes. I won't say who. Just because I never want to cut off like future work. It was really bad. I cried.
Really?
I had to hiccup cry. Yeah, I paid for like this $5,000 VIP ticket at the time. That was a lot of money for me to pay for that type of stuff.
Right.
So I went all in. I invested in myself, and I needed to meet him, and I needed to meet so I had a whole plan. I was already talking to his team. I wanted to share how my journey was impacted by him and a whole bunch of stuff. I was on a high. Get there. I'm talking to head of security. It's like we're about to you meet the president.
Right.
Okay. He gets up. He's like, sorry, kid, can't meet with you.
Ooh.
Now, mind you, I'm only like one of 3 black people at this event. Really the only one at this signature tier level.
Right.
I just wanted to stress this. So I felt like somebody stabbed me 1,000 times. I can still remember that feeling. And my friend immediately starts rubbing my back because I'm like about to go into hyperventilation mode. Remember, this is my like Jesus on earth, if you will. And again, God teaches us not to idolize people. Well, I didn't hear that scripture till after. So his head of security is like confused because remember I'm like sharing my story with He's like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I was like, you'll find out. Another lady on his team is like, Dave, wait. Oh, she said his name. Wait. And I was like, it's fine if he doesn't want to do it. And then she was like, I have to find out. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So that night I stayed up and cried. I remember I cried really hard. I went the next day to the session with these sunglasses because again, I'm not gonna miss out on what I paid for.
Eyes all puffed up.
Super. So this older white lady, I wish I stayed in touch with her. There's so many people I meet just along the way. I think God gives you who you need at different moments. She saw me with my glasses on. She's like, we were talking the day before. And she knew that I was supposed to meet this person that night. Right. She's like, how did you go? She's like, have you been crying? Were you excited? She doesn't know. So I take off my glasses and I told her what happened. And mind you, I got the hiccup cry again. Because again, this I am set for this moment. This is circled in my calendar. I flew out to California. So she was like, he did what? So her leg is shaking. She's turning red. Mind you, this lady does not know him I don't know him either. We're all and She paid the same ticket at price maybe like the one underneath I paid. So we're like investing in ourselves. We think this person's like, Fast forward, he goes, I never forget, he goes, yeah, I want to address something. Sometimes you make decisions that are not good in the moment. Sometimes you can really hurt people. So the lady starts hitting my leg. She's like, he's talking about you. This is his version of an apology. It had to be because this conference had nothing to do with what he was talking about.
Got you.
So here's what I found out. Long story short, the article that I was published in Money magazine wrote an article on him that was unauthorized. And he didn't like the twist that they put on it. And they put me in his magazine. That's why I was so excited to show him.
Got you.
Because my story was based off of his teachings. So I'm not trying to be funny. If you didn't like what Money did or wrote or whatever, I didn't think it was bad, but whatever. That's your business. Don't treat me like that. I am not associated with Money. I am just me. So that was his way, I feel like, of apologizing from the stage. Accepted. But, what did it do for me? It really changed my life. You know what God told me? You will be bigger than this person.
Man, that was your moment.
I'm going to idolize you, and I'm going to be on the same stage with you in just a few months.
Yeah, we will share a stage.
It's fine. So the point is, it's fine. So the point is, I just remember that moment, that's why I think I also just don't get too excited about stuff.
Right.
Because it is my right to be where you're at, too. And nobody's more special than you, nor I. If you put in the work, you do good business, you really help people, you'll get to your goal or whatever that goal is.
I love it. So, student loan doctor. Student loans are in the news a lot now.
Praise God.
A lot now, right? So, business has to be doing good, right?
It is. Yes.
It's at the president's desk. It's at the Supreme Court right now.
I know.
So we got one side saying, hey, PPP loans got forgiven, but student loans didn't.
Crazy.
Right? Which is crazy. We won't get into politics. What is happening right now at the Supreme Court level? How does it affect your business? How does it's going to affect everybody in the next 300 days, 600 days? What does it look like?
Well, I think what's happening is I'm just so on two sides of it. So we want people to get their 10 or 20,000 forgiven, but there truly is no game plan for this forgiveness. What do I mean by that? Once people give you this money, right, there's no clause or stipulation that says that same person couldn't go next month and reborrow the $20K. So it's kind of a catch-22. And I'm all for forgiveness. Ooh.
Right.
But it is, I would say, a little irresponsible for those in our country that make these decisions to not put clauses in place, to not put people back in debt, or allow people to put themselves
back in debt.
Because sometimes people don't know better, right? So that's number one. Number two, we just need a better plan for higher education, period. Keep your 10, 20K, just clear up cost of school debt, period.
Right.
Because I think the thing is, it's this is going to be a never-ending cycle.
Right.
So, and then the other thing about
it's an interesting side. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, coming from the student loan doctor, that means a lot too.
It does. Why I'm still intelligent to know both sides, and I still know what's going to do to our economy. The pandemic pause cost our economy already $100 billion. If and when this 10, 20K goes by, it's going to cost the economy another $400 billion. And then still being able to borrow?
Right.
That's weird. Nobody likes to hear these facts, but that's what it is. So there's an argument there. Then the Biden administration used what Trump created called the HEROES Act. And Trump basically said, listen, you have any rights within the pandemic to utilize this money. All you need is the president and the secretary of education to do what they call an emergency declaration. So this actually is a thing that is permissible. This is not like Biden went rogue. It's called the HEROES Act, and it got expanded to what they're trying to do.
Right.
People don't want to hear that. And a lot of people probably didn't even know that he signed that into office. So it was such a shocker, you know. So in any case, do I think that what they're doing is legal? Absolutely. But let's say fast forward. Forget all that. What I teach my tribe is we need to utilize and ride the wave of programs that exist, that are in place. There's not pushback. I'm going to be honest with you, Herman. I want this thing to stay in court for a little while longer. Because you know what's happening right now?
Talk to me.
Public service loan forgiveness has gotten so easy to be passed through. Literally, that's why we have all this success of people getting their loans forgiven. So we've been teaching people how to get into the program too. Borrower's Defense, that's another program.
What's that?
So that's if you went to one of those schools, like University of Phoenix, DeVry, like one of those places. And
shout out to DeVry. Wow, you just brought me back.
You went there?
No, I didn't, but I remember when people were going to these online, those commercials.
1-800.
Everest and all them. Yeah,
Everest
go ahead.
is one of them.
Yeah.
So if y'all went there. So they literally just like the other day, literally, I'm about to teach you about it later, said if you went to any of these schools, there's maybe about 200 of them, put the application in, there's a 75% chance of approval with no documentation.
What? Y'all listening?
25% will get individual case by case.
Right, reviews.
Reviews. I need people to understand the math on this. There are only 40 people that work in this department, Herman.
So that means they like you and me. I just gotta get home.
They literally put a press release out that said for all the applications that have come in, it would take them 30 years to process them. So we've decided we're going to give everyone forgiveness. That's what it says. So we're like, what the hell are we reading? So my team and I, we like, are they just saying that if you went there, keyword, you went there.
If you just went there, DeVry,
and
Phoenix.
Some schools are cutting checks. Some people are getting checks back in the mail for the interest. So it's getting crazy.
Aren't y'all glad y'all tuned in today? This is crazy.
So all we're focused on is the things we can focus on. So the 3 things, well, there's 4 things I'm heavily focused on with the tribe. Public service loan forgiveness, borrower's defense, TPD, total permanent disability. Basically, if you have a disability that qualifies you, there's 5, for being in and out of work, apply. You know what I mean? People that have applied and heard back in 30 days that they no longer have student loans.
Just like that.
So when I look at you, I don't know what you suffer from if you suffer from anything. I don't know your credit score. I don't know what nobody can see. So I had a guy who had chronic illness with diabetes, kept him in and out of work. $60 forgiven.
Just like that.
It's chronic.
Submit the app.
Keyword is chronic. So then the other one I'm really excited about is now student loans can be applied through bankruptcy. Just happened in November.
Wait a minute. That wasn't possible before. Yeah.
I know. That's big for you because you're in the federal. So we should do a class about it.
100%.
As of November 17th, Biden administration revamped a 15-page attestation. They only want to know what the undue hardship is for you having these student loans. It's now able to be submitted for bankruptcy.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
But that never made the news.
Right.
It's not going to make the news.
It's not going to make the news, right.
And then the last one, what was the other one I was excited about? Oh, God, I just blinked out. There was one more I was excited about. It was bankruptcy. No, it's going to have to come back to me.
All right. But you're clearly on top of this, right? So I'm going to do like David Sham. So he's like, I bring people on my show.
Right.
So you get free advice. So Herman Dalty has $83,000 in student loan debt. Nelnet has it, right? So what would be one of my options?
Oh, I just gave you the, you didn't, I didn't know you had student loans. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, what you going to do is.
You know what's terrible, though? They're my oldest trade lines. So I almost, listen, I know. 83,000 are closing down my oldest trade lines. But go ahead, they're like 20 years old. But what if I wanted those forgiven?
It's getting weird.
It's getting weird?
It's getting weird. Okay. You go find some new trade lines.
I'm going to.
I know.
I know, yeah.
But not for 83. How long you had your nonprofit?
I've had my nonprofit for about 6 months. No. Oh, wow, now a year now.
A year? So what we've been teaching people is to create their own nonprofit and roll through forgiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And basically, you'll send off your public service loan forgiveness form. They're not verifying much right now. And then in July, you're going to most likely be eligible for an additional 36 months of credit. So let's go back. So the Department of Education came out and y'all gotta read these press releases. I'm not making this stuff up. I don't even know who writes them these days. It's like it's gotta be somebody black writing it. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, yeah, y'all, we messed up again.
Yeah,
like,
y'all, we messed up.
How they sound when I read
just
them.
forget it. Just forget about it.
Yeah, my own thing on it. But I'm like, who wrote this? Like,
wow.
Yeah. So basically, the Department of Education admitted to messing up. They entrusted your loans with these lenders who never took the time to see if you should not be. You ever been in forbearance before? Like you put it off?
Yeah.
So that's called, I call it the never ever plan. So you're not really supposed to be in forbearance like for a long period of time. Your lender, a lot of people don't know this, It's supposed to take about 11 minutes with you and ask you questions like, yeah, what can you afford to pay? What's happening, Herman? Like, and Herman, you make up a lie or you tell them. They never ask. Think about when you go into forbearance. Anybody ever ask you?
No, they never ask any questions. They just literally they rubber stamp it and they just keep deferring it year after year.
So they do that because it's in their benefit to accrue the interest.
The interest.
Well, a couple things have changed as of this year. The interest no longer will be compounding as of July. So no more compound interest. So, and then the second thing is now they're saying to everyone, all right, well, because these lenders messed up, they never took the time to properly interview you. They're giving you 36 months of credit towards repayment. Now, some people are going to take this credit towards a 10-year program. Some people are going to take this credit towards a 20-year program. Would you rather be in a 10-year program or a 20-year program?
20.
So what's that's 3 months?
You want me to do math?
Wait, you want to be a 20-year program?
A shorter term to pay it off? Oh, a shorter term. Yeah.
Okay. You want to be in a 10-year program?
Yeah.
So what's 10 minus 3? 36 months, 3 years.
10 minus 3?
7.
Yeah.
So in theory, after July, people are only going to have 7 years left. And you said you had your nonprofit already for what, a year?
Yeah.
So now we're on to 6. So in 6 years, you could be done with $83,000. But there's more. I feel like I was like.
But wait, there's more. Okay.
So as of July, they changed the rules again. If I was teaching class, I would tell everyone to type new rules. But anyway, I you know I did it to people in real life.
I know you do.
I literally was talking to my friend. I was like, say new rules. What I say? He was like, girl, you're not teaching me right now. I was cracking up. I definitely saying it. I was about to say new rules. But anyway, the point is, long story short, he was like, wait, is that going to finish it?
No, it's fine. It's
okay.
fine.
All right. So long story short, what's going to happen is you're going to be able, as of July, to make double or triple payments.
Okay.
So basically, instead of it taking 6 years, let's say you're in position financially, you could cut that down to 3 or 2 years.
Nice.
So it's a lot coming up.
There's a lot
So you
coming
see
up.
why I'm not worried about what's happening?
Yes, because you got things in place now.
I need things to keep happening like that.
Got you.
So they cannot see what's going on over here.
Got you.
Because, somebody did try to overturn borrower's defense. Like the student loan companies took 3 of them, took the government to court.
Are you enjoying this episode of the Execute podcast? Well, listen, this free game is just the taste. This episode is sponsored by the Bella Sloan Academy. In the Bella Sloan Academy, we have so much more game. You want to learn how to fix your credit? You want to learn how to set up your business correctly? You want to learn how to get funding for your business? We got you in the Bella Sloan Academy. And even more sauce. You want to know how to market your business? We got you. You want to know how to 10x your business? We got you. We want to put you in position for the win. And listen, in the Bella Sloan Academy, we meet every single month. We have coaches that want to put you in position for the win. So click the link in the description and let's get back to this episode. I'll talk to you soon.
The judge threw it out and said, as a matter of fact, I'm really going to open up the flood. Like this just came out.
Open up the
floodgates. The judge was like, as a matter of fact, we're going to easily and more quickly process applications. So now all these people, I can tell when the wave hits because I get more DMs.
Right.
Sonia, I just got a letter that I'm done. So this judge, I need to find out who this judge is.
Right.
It's like pushing through all these apps, like right now.
I love to hear it.
It's gonna be good.
I love that business has grown. She clearly knows her stuff. As you have leveled up, right? The circle clearly has changed, right? So I have a tagline: audit your circle.
Did they change because you changed or they changed?
No one has ever asked me that before.
That's a good question.
And
I'm interviewing the interviewer.
I know. And I wear the t-shirt all the time, audit your circle, and people are like, what does that mean? And I'd be like on an elevator. Elevator pitch is 300 people on a commercial plane, 20 people on a private jet. Not everybody can go with you. So at times you have to audit your circle in different spaces that I'm in. Everybody can't come with you. Has that been difficult for you as you have leveled up in your career, your business?
2020 and 21 was difficult. 23, I'm over it. Yeah, you just have to watch it from Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there are people, you're probably watching this now. They opted out. I have not opted anyone out. And so visibly, I feel like who I used to hang with and be with and do events with has changed. Like, it's visible.
Okay.
Certain people don't even ask about certain people anymore. Like, it's a thing. I'm okay with that. But you know what's funny? I was the last party.
Got you.
In the pandemic, I found out so much about certain people that really hurt my feelings. Like, Like, made me cry.
Yeah.
Because I don't like a lot of people, and I don't feel a lot of people close. So when I found out people were, like, talking about me, there was this thing where people were, like, mimicking me. They know who they are. They were mimicking me. I think I bought, like, some fur coats. I was excited about new money. Let's be clear. And this is what I realized about people. It's okay when they do it. It's okay if they have a certain level of money. It's not okay when your money's changing. So you can't little sister me forever.
Right.
Little sister's now big sister.
I'm big sis.
But
You are
I'm
she.
big sis, and I was still trying to put you in the room too.
Right.
But your ego got in a way that you couldn't allow me to be the new big sis. I don't even care about this titles. I'm just being facetious. So I was like, having my movie, I'm like, I brought my Tesla. It's not an expensive car in hindsight, really. I don't know Lamborghini now. It's a Tesla. So y'all know how you feel. You must have got sick when I bought a Lamborghini.
Right.
Oh, but when I bought a Tesla and I bought some fur coats, oh, she's changing. She's too hype on the money. Yeah. I wanted to see what this felt like. I always wanted to know what a real fur coat felt like. Because mine was stiff and it was cotton. Like I didn't know it.
Yeah.
So, but you had a fur coat all along. You didn't even give me a fur coat connect. Somebody that wasn't even that close to me gave me the connect that you used.
Right. Yeah.
So when all this stuff started happening, it would hurt my feelings because I was like, dang, I can't bring so-and-so with me. Can't bring so-and-so with me. And, if I offended anybody along the way, I would love to have had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even, to be really transparent with you, it wasn't even space for that. Because by the time I got back what was said and done, and it was verifiable because only these people would know these things. Right. The disrespect was $2,000.
It was $2,000.
It was too much. So that's okay.
So it's easier for you now to cut off, audit.
Well, I don't even know if I'm okay with cutting people off, but I think that I just do a better job and use more discernment about people now. I can be cordial and like, hey, but we don't gotta be close.
So
close is earned. So
we've peppered this throughout the interview today. How are you managing your mental health also?
Yeah, I needed a therapist. My therapist is not cheap. I definitely got one in 2019. That's when I knew I needed one. Couldn't handle all these shifts and pressures.
Right.
We talk every so often now, not as much. Mental health looks like I'm going to go take this real quick trip. So for me, I just like to get away and clear my head. Mental health looks like I live on Do Not Disturb. I really do. I love it here. I didn't know that feature existed, really. But there's a feature called Work on the phone. That's why I live on Work. So I can literally pick my 20 people to get through.
Right.
Other than that, did you
get back to you.
it?
Yeah.
You didn't get invited to be here. So why come home?
I got you.
I think I do a better job of letting things roll off my back. Somebody gave me a compliment that a lot of things don't rattle me. I don't think that they don't rattle me. I just think that I'm at the place now where I understand people better. I understand this is your nature to do X, Y, Z. I understand that you're not working on your emotional intelligence like I am. So when you have a moment or this is probably not about me.
Right.
So I can opt out of it.
Got you.
So I'm doing a little better with that. And then I just think that it's important to put yourself consistently around other people that are getting it like you are getting it. So like it's important that we hang out and get to know each other. It's important that I stay with people that are like-minded. If I don't, I'm going to possibly spiral back into old ways.
Gotcha.
And that's why even when I come home to Philly, I may hang out with my friends, like my day ones, once, twice, because I really don't want to go back into a mental space I've elevated from. It is not really that fun for me to go out to like our little hood bar or spots. In theory, I miss these people. I miss the pure fun of being on.
Right.
Whatever. But you know what happens? They think that I've changed. For example, I went out recently since I've been home. I just wanted to go out, spend my little $40. I'll be excited, child.
Right.
My little $40 going, Philly. One drink in Miami. So I'm thrilled, y'all. I'm still cheap. Whatever. Frugal, that's the word. So when I'm there, somebody just had to keep reminding me, different people, about the student loan doctor. I have a really great ability to separate the two.
Right.
Somebody was like, oh my God, we got a celebrity. I turned around and looked for the person too.
They talking about you.
No, they got time for that.
It gets annoying sometimes.
Yeah, isn't that funny? And I was like, what is? They're like, you. I'm like, oh, child, I left that in the car. And then people want to take pictures. Why are we taking pictures when we just took shots? I don't even know what my face looks like. So there's not that much enjoyment that I have with some of these things because there's, I think, Whatever you think Instagram is, you think I'm going to show up the same way. Well, in person, I'm not that smiley. I'm intentionally smiley,
right.
but I'm not a smiley person. I'm like,
got you.
But in
you got to put on a show.
Thing, right? It's just a show, like, it's just a persona I think people expect to have. I'm really spicy in real life. Like, I have a really smart mouth.
Yeah.
That could go left, you know, because you're like, she's not smart online. Well, sometimes I am, you know. So I just think there's a balance there that I had to figure out really quickly.
Excellent.
To survive, you know.
To close out our interview, can you give some words of encouragement? We're ending the first quarter. We got 3 quarters left for 2023 to our listeners. Talk to them, tell them what they can do to execute it and really close this year out strong.
So to close the year out strong, well, I think we are back to what you talked about, auditing your circle, right? So you want to make sure that as you go through your Jordan year, so for a lot of people, this is their Jordan year, you want to make sure that you're in position to, you know, look at your cell phone, look at your text messages, look at your call log, and you want to say, do these people serve where I'm headed, right? And then the other thing is, when you think about this year, to be successful, you need to assess what skills that you may need to be successful. I think this has to be the season where people remember to invest in themselves. Because when money starts getting tight, because I don't know if this is what we call recession, but when money starts getting tight for people, people don't continue to invest in themselves. And this is the time where recessions birth new millionaires.
Hey.
So what is your skill set? What can you do to solve a problem? That's very important. People pivot around that conversation. And then lastly, I think you also just have to come to agreement with what you want your year to look like. There was a sermon I was listening to that basically said you can reinvent it at any time. Maybe last year you tried to do something that didn't work out. Maybe you tried to start the business last year. Maybe you tried to go to school. Maybe you tried to be successful in this relationship, weight loss. I don't know. But that was last year. And so many people get held up with what didn't work before. They don't try it again. So this got to be the year that you hit the reset button and try it again. So I'm in a place where, like for me, I know the formula to success. I just had to decide to go and do it. It's kind of like starting from the ground up again, building from scratch, being consistent, and just not coasting and riding off of things that we already have in place. So hopefully, you know, and I feel like if they're listening to your podcast or watching your podcast, they're probably more likely to be successful than not.
100%. I got nothing but executors out here.
Yes.
Sonia Lewis.
Thank you for having me.
Sonia Lewis first. Yes. Student loan doctor second.
It could be student loan doctor first. That's where the money is.
That's where the money resides. My apologies.
Yes.
Amazing interview. So listen, you gave too many gems today.
Yes.
You gave 5-6 ways that we could eradicate our student loan debt. How are they going to find you? How are they going to get a consultation? How can they reach your team?
So today was amazing. So the first thing you can do is go to Instagram. That's where we live. I call it our little playhouse. You want to go to the Student Loan Doctor. So we're going to find each other there first. Then YouTube would be second. We put up a lot of content, a lot of great videos, short, long contents there. And then humbly just Google the Student Loan Doctor. Now, if you don't see a little black girl show up, you're in the wrong place. But there's a lot of information that we put out on different media, broadcasts, and podcasts. So we're looking forward to serving you. Either way, this got to be the year that you eradicate your student loan debt in 2023.
It's time for you guys to execute. We'll talk to you soon.